Here is why Tinder is damaging your brain. A new, easier, more beautiful person is just one swipe away. If you have 4 jars of jam, strawberry, cranberry, blueberry, and peach, by the end of the hour, you have to choose which one you would like to take home and eat for the rest of your life. Maybe you're gonna taste a little bit of all of them. Then there's maybe 2 that you like the most, but eventually you're able to make a choice. Now imagine that you walk into a room and there's a million jars of jam just hanging on the wall. And now I ask you, can you please choose at the end of the hour which one you're gonna take for the rest of your life? Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna go crazy. If we don't use Tinder or these dating apps, then what do we do? This is gonna be super interesting for me as a millionaire to start dating again. Welcome to Life Unlocked with Jet, where we talk about how you can become a high-ticket freelancer, live the laptop lifestyle, all things digital marketing, and of course also all the failures and lessons that I've learned in my journey becoming a self-made millionaire. I hope you enjoy and follow our podcast. We all know these dating apps, right? Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, you have so many of them. And they're definitely part of this new era, this new time that we live in. But let's think a little bit back about how we used to date. Okay, so imagine your grandparents or maybe even your parents still. How did they meet each other? Chances are it was probably at work, at church, at a common group, a common event, a place where they met in person, in the supermarket. How cool is that? You meet each other in person, and for some reason you choose to spend time with that person, you choose to invest your time learning about that person and communicating with them to then make a decision and say, yes, I want to marry this one. And then we flash forward to now, where it seems like we have endless and endless of choices. A new, easier, more beautiful person is just one swipe away. This is super damaging for your brain for so many reasons. I always like to make this comparison, this specific comparison. If you have 4 jars of jam, strawberry, cranberry, blueberry, and peach, and I tell you, okay, by the end of the hour, you have to choose which one you would like to take home and eat for the rest of your life. Okay. You have 4 choices now. So yes, maybe you're going to taste a little bit of all of them. Then there's maybe 2 that you like the most. You spend a bit more time on the strawberry and the peach one. But eventually you're able to make a choice. You say, okay, yes, it's going to be strawberry. Okay. Now imagine that you walk into a room and there's a million jars of jam just hanging on the wall, like a bazillion different flavors. And now I ask you, can you please choose at the end of the hour which one you're going to take for the rest of your life? Now what you're going to do, you're going to go crazy. So you're actually going to think, oh my God, it's like a million choices, but I only have 1 hour. So I'm now quickly going to dip my finger in multiple jars. I'm going to taste a little bit quick and make quick decision. And by the time that I'm at number 20, I probably already forgot how the first one tastes. Do you see where I'm going with this? So back in the day, you were maybe entering a pub or a restaurant and there were 4 or 5 guys or girls. Already right away, you probably have a physical attraction to one of them that you're like, okay, or 2 of them that you're like, okay, these people look nice. Instinctually, I feel like I'm interested in them. Then what do? You say hi to both of them. And then already from that communication part, maybe you prefer one of their communication styles or body languages. They show interest in you. And now for that evening, you're most likely going to sit with the one person that stood out the most. You're going to spend time learning about their favorite color, where they're from, what they're doing, and all of these things. And by the end of the night, you feel so lucky that you had the opportunity to meet this person. And then you decide that you're going to spend time with them. Obviously, back in the day, write letters to them and visit them, court them, all of that. What we do now is that we're swiping. So we are not actually even putting enough effort in each person that we communicate with to find out whether they could be a good person. And if there's one doubt or something that we don't like, right away we're like, oh, okay, never mind. I'll just keep swiping because there will be more, there will be better. And the danger here is that even if you have something so good right in front of you, you might just actually miss it because you keep thinking that there's more. And this is why Tinder is damaging our brain. It is the endorphins that we get when someone matches with us that make us want to keep swiping and keep looking for more and for better. Because it's so on demand, it feels like we have endless of choices and we are not really pressured, or we don't really need to make effort. We can just go with the easiest person. The dangerous part is as well is that it kind of reprograms our brain, because now we think that there's endless choices, so we don't have to commit, we don't have to make effort. We can just be with the easiest person, the most good-looking person. If they don't reply quick enough, boom, we go to the next one. We keep swiping, and it creates a completely different way of thinking about relationships, marriage, love, than what obviously we're used to in the past years. And definitely these dating apps have a big play in that. It is very similar with social media. Both social media, getting likes, getting followers, getting engagement and attention, same on Tinder or any other app. Like the more people we match with, the more messages we get, the better we feel, endorphin. But then also when that doesn't happen, it also impacts your mental health and how you feel. It's also much easier to be rude to people on apps, like social media or dating apps. And people can really make you feel like shit, ghost you and all of that. Whereas obviously back in the day, if you meet someone in a supermarket, like it's a low chance that if you try to talk to them that they're just going to keep running, At least there's some courtesy there and your effort is reciprocated because they will start to answer your questions and because it's in person. Online, it's easy to be a dickhead as well. But of course, the other part is that now that we are so addicted to our phones because of the endorphin from all of these social media apps, when we are actually out in person, in a pub, in a supermarket, in the train, in the tube, somewhere, instead of looking at people and trying to make real life connections, we're all just looking at our phone. We're all just texting or being busy, I especially felt that in London, like it was so crazy sitting in the tube and everyone around you is on their phone and you're like, maybe your soulmate could be in this tube, but everyone is looking in their phone, so you don't get to talk to each other. So that is the other paradox. If we don't use Tinder or these dating apps, then what do we do, Especially if, like me, I'm just going to use myself as an example. Like me, you work online, so I'm mostly in my home office and I go gym and walk my dog, and that's basically it. So if I don't meet anyone at these places, then obviously it's going to be hard to make a connection. So then I use dating apps or used to use dating apps when, of course, I wanted to, to see if there's someone out there. But then you see how bad it is for your mental health, how much then you hate it. So you end up deleting it again after a few weeks, right? This is generally what happens. I didn't start with dating again, which is okay. But what might be cool to share is how I'm going to do it so different right now. So first of all, if I go on these apps, I am actually not going to use any sexy pictures, bikini pictures, or anything like that. Years ago, when I was on it, I used to do it because I saw everyone, like all the guys with their shirt off and like showing their body and all of this. And now I don't believe in this, I believe that that is for my partner only. So I'm going to put very modest and, covered pictures, just very normal pictures. Because that's also not the person I want to attract, someone who just shows everything everywhere on their Instagram and all of that. Secondly, I am going to actually make an effort in writing the bio and really write what I'm looking for and not be ashamed of that. Like, don't care. Because then at least when I use it, I don't have to find out whether people agree with my views or not. I already wrote it, so, it's going to save us both time. And thirdly, I'm going to do the jam technique. It doesn't exist, guys. I just made this up. But when we're talking about the 4 jars of jam, right? That's what I'm going to do. If I am swiping, I'm going to set a limit to how long I can do it each day. And secondly, I'm going to make it a rule that if I match with someone, I am first going to talk to them and not swipe more. I'm first going to really make an effort, talk to them, ask them questions, see before I move on to the next person or the next swipe, I'm not going to collect matches. I don't want to do that. That is bad for your mental health, I think. and just for the, like I said, the whole view on relationships and dating. So yeah, if someone doesn't reply after a few days, I will unmatch them. I don't need to collect and show off how many people I'm matching with. I want to really genuinely try to form a connection and communicate with them. And if they don't want to, I will unmatch them, I will remove them. And in this way, I will make sure that, I stick more to the 4 gems mentality than the billion options out there. I'm just going to not give myself all the options. I'm going to first, if I match with someone, okay, I like their profile for a reason. So now I'm going to make an effort first, before just continuing to look, because that doesn't make any sense. And last one, I am definitely not going to add my Instagram or any socials or any information about myself in there. Might even date under a different name, but that is, in my case, probably a good idea. But in general, yes, I also don't like it when people put their Instagram, because then it's just like you're just trying to collect followers or something. You're not actually here to date or to build a meaningful connection. So I'm definitely not going to put my Instagram in there. And probably I will not even give it to them after, a few dates or whatever. I will not let them just scroll and investigate my life and all of that. Because that's the other part. Like if you put it and they don't, before they already got the time now to investigate my whole childhood, my life, what I do, how much I make, all of that. And that's not really a fair way, I think, to date or meet someone new. I think it should be pretty fresh, and all the information that's important, you should put in your bio. And same for photos. That should be a representation of what you look like, how you are, what you like. And I don't think we need to connect followers, numbers, likes, socials to that as well. I feel like that just makes it more genuine to not do that, basically. Generally speaking, guys, I like this topic because I was on a panel discussion on a Dutch TV channel with Vasily Klucherev, and he did a whole episode about what Tinder does to our brain. Super interested. We also dove into the dirt of the influencer industry, neuroscience, social influence. So I'm going to do so many more videos about this topic, but this was just a little taste, a little intro to it. These are things that are really interesting to me, especially now how, for me, my view on dating, my view on what a high value woman is, my view on what high value men is, feminine energy, masculine energy, all of this stuff is things that I've been learning as well over the years. As I was growing myself and my business, I developed myself a lot, and I feel like these are also topics that I'm really interested to talk about because it's on my mind a lot, And yes, it is going to be super interesting for me as a millionaire to start dating again. So I might make some videos about that as well, or some episodes about that as well, to show you guys my view on this. Times have changed massively, and it can sometimes be still a bit hard to navigate that. So really curious how that's going to work out for me. I'm not going to start dating now for sure, but when I do, I might keep you guys up to date about the things that I think are important now when dating. Yeah. Hope you guys like that. And of course, if you want to learn more about what I do exactly, make sure to check the notes, to check the description. And then I hope to see you guys in the next episode.